Christmas story by Wisdom Gold, The Snowmaker's Gift. In a small, snow-laden village nestled between towering mountains, there lived an old man named Ellard, known as the Snowmaker. The villagers believed Ellard had magical powers over the snow, for no matter the season. His small house at the edge of the forest always had a glistening frost on its roof. Ellard had a curious workshop filled with peculiar tools: crystal vials of frozen dew, featherlight brushes, and a wheel that spun ice threads finer than silk. Few dared to visit him, for whispers of mystery and magic always followed his name. Yet, every winter, the Snowmaker would leave his house at dusk, his knapsack bulging with what seemed like shimmering clouds. By morning, the village would awaken to breathtaking scenes: ice-covered trees glinting like diamonds, perfect snowflakes carpeting the streets, and frozen streams transformed into sparkling ribbons. Children adored Ellard's handiwork, but their parents had always warned them, never disturb the Snowmaker. His gifts are his own to give, and he keeps secrets best left alone. But one winter, something unusual happened. The snow didn't come. Days turned to weeks, and the skies remained cold yet empty. The frost never kissed the windows, the rivers didn't freeze, and the mountains stood bare, their peaks exposed like raw stone. The villagers grew restless, murmuring about failed crops and dry wells that would follow without the winter's water. Among them was a young girl named Leela. She was a spirited child, known for her golden hair that glimmered like sunlight even in the dimmest of days. Lila loved the snow more than anyone else in the village. She had spent countless winters building castles and skating on frozen ponds. The absence of snow this year made her heart ache. One evening, Lila decided she would visit the Snowmaker. She wasn't afraid of his mysterious ways. She was determined to find out why winter had abandoned them. Carrying a lantern, Lila trudged through the forest to Ellard's house. She found him sitting outside, wrapped in a cloak, staring up at the starless sky. His face, etched with lines of time, held an unusual sadness. Why hasn't the snow come? Lila asked boldly, stepping closer. Ellard sighed. The snow is not mine to summon this year, child. It belongs to those who have forgotten its true purpose. Lila tilted her head, confused. What do you mean? Snow is snow. It's for playing, for keeping us warm in the spring with melted streams. The old man chuckled faintly, though his eyes remained heavy. Snow is more than that, little one. It's a reminder, a gift of silence, of stillness, of time to reflect and prepare. The world has grown too noisy, too hurried. Even your village rushes through life, never stopping to notice the beauty around them. If people cannot appreciate the quiet gifts, then the snow cannot fall. Lila's brows furrowed. She hadn't thought of snow that way. But what can we do? She asked. We can't just make the snow fall by appreciating it. Ellard leaned forward. There is something you can do. Tonight, I will give you a single snowflake. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small frosted jar. Inside was a single perfect snowflake, glowing faintly with an inner light. Take this to your village. Place it where everyone can see. It will remind them of what they've forgotten. Lila took the jar carefully, the cold of it biting through her gloves. But what if they don't notice? Then the snow will not return, Ellard said simply. But I have faith in you. Lila hurried back to the village, her breath forming clouds in the icy air. She placed the jar in the center of the village square, where the lamplight could catch the glimmering snowflake. Then she waited. At first, no one seemed to notice. The villagers passed by, busy with their chores, grumbling about the lack of snow. Lila's heart sank. But then a child stopped. A boy about her age, with wide eyes, pointed to the jar. Look, he cried. It's a snowflake. The boy's shout drew others, and soon a small crowd gathered around the jar. They stared at the snowflake, marveling at its delicate beauty. Some whispered about how they had never really looked at snowflakes before, how they had always taken them for granted. One by one, the villagers began to talk not just about the missing snow, but about their lives, their worries, and their joys. They lingered in the square longer than they had in years, sharing stories and laughter. For the first time, they noticed the crispness of the air, the stillness of the night, and the soft glow of the lanterns. By dawn, something magical happened. The sky, once empty, began to fill with clouds. The first flakes drifted down, soft as whispers. The villagers cheered, dancing in the snow as it fell faster and thicker, blanketing the ground in white. Lila smiled as she watched, knowing the Snowmaker had been right. Sometimes the simplest things, like a single snowflake, could remind people of what truly mattered. That night, when she returned the empty jar to Ellard, he greeted her with a warm smile. "You did well, child. Remember, the snow will always come for those who take the time to notice its beauty." From that winter on, the village never took snow for granted. And though Ellard's magical touch still graced their winters, they knew the real magic lay in their hearts, in the way they slowed down to appreciate the world around them. The story of the Snowmaker's gift teaches us the importance of mindfulness and gratitude. In our busy lives, we often overlook the beauty and significance of small, simple moments. Like the snow, these moments are fleeting yet profound, offering us a chance to pause, reflect, and connect with one another. When we take the time to appreciate life's quiet gifts, we find joy, community, and a sense of peace that enriches our lives. Let this winter be a reminder to slow down, to see the beauty in what surrounds us, and to cherish the small, magical moments that make life meaningful.